Hey, welcome back to another Dear Miss J, where today is J Day, because every day should be J Day. So today, advice ID is for 046. It is, what's the topic? Self-love versus loyalty. So let's get into it. It says, Dear Miss J, how bad should your problem get before loyalty becomes irrelevant? How bad should your problem get before loyalty becomes irrelevant? Miss J, this little process is y'all bear with me. Like what? Like I want to be a friend who is always there for the person no matter what, but what they do hurts sometimes and I'm not sure how much I should take. So, hold on. Like I want to be a friend who is always there for that person no matter what. But what they do hurts sometimes, and I'm not sure how much I should take. Right. Okay. So self-love versus loyalty. I get where my reader is coming from. So, happiness and being able to be okay in life, period, situations, all of that, it's important. Friends, a community, family members, all of that is equally as important, but nothing should come to a point where it sacrifices you being okay, if that makes any sense. So sometimes we get into situations where we are willing to sacrifice our feelings, our emotions, what makes us happy, our mental health, and all of that for the sake of somebody else. And they're over there sleeping and drooling at the mouth. And then we are up in turmoil in our heads and upset. And that's not the way it should be. So self-love is important because at the end of the day, no one should be, I always use this analogy when it comes down to like, an ice cream cone. So you got your cone, and then you got all your scoops. Say you like strawberries, or butter pecan, or whatever you like on top, some sherbet, some good orange sherbet, whatever you like on top. And then at the end, that's your cone, right? And you make up your own cone. You're the cone. You should be the ice cream. You should be the sprinkles on top and all of that. I always say other people, whether it be male, female, cat, dog, family member, whatever, other people should only be the cherry on top. They should not be the cone. They should not be the ice cream. They should not even be the sprinkles. They should only be the cherry on top. Because guess what? The ice cream is good with or without the cherry. The cherry might make it better, but if the cherry happens to fall off while you walking or while you going about your way, it is not going to make or break the cone. So what I'm saying is that we're set up in life where, especially as women, and I don't know who wrote this, but especially as women, when we internalize a lot and we're always trying to carry things for people and be everything to people. And the reality is, at the end of the day, honey, you got to worry about you. And then whatever you have left after you worry about you, then go ahead and spread it out to other people. Go ahead and give them stacks of it. But don't try to overexhaust yourself for other people's happiness. And at the end of the day, they are going to drop you as fast as they can. Because if somebody else comes along and you get somebody else comes and gets their nose open, you're going to be just as ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So I'm not even saying this in an indignant way. I'm legit saying like, hey, you do you, boo. You do you, boo. Don't worry about you, boo. And people will catch up. They will. And guess what? If they for you, they support you, they're a true friend, they're a true ride or die or whatever they are, family member, then they're going to catch up and they're going to jump on the train and ride right with you. And they're going to respect you for the decision and the choice that you made to care about you. Communication also is very important. Tell them, hey, look, find a way to say this thing. Write it down, send a text message, Morse code, Morse code, whatever you need to say. Get it out however you need to get it out so that they'll know and they understand. Because again, it's not worth your happiness. It's not worth your okay. It's not worth your I'm good. It's not worth all that. People ain't worth all that. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're giving you hell or causing issues and problems in your life. All right. So yeah, you do you, boo. All right. Let me see. Let me go back. Easy question. This was entitled Easy Question. ID code is 094. And let's find the question. Let's get into it. Here we go. How do you know someone is the one? Okay. Easy question. How do we know someone is the one? Miss J has had a different level of experience with this than maybe most. So Miss J eventually started off thinking that, one day you just fall in love and it's Moon Over the Stars World Series and you just see a person and it just all crumbles on, just hits you and you're like, oh, yes, this is the one. And you're just flying in the air and everything's so beautiful and wonderful. And that's some old bull crap. It sounds nice, but 9 times out of 10, it's some more bull crap. Unless you're like your grandma or, and ancient, and people pass where you just find that person and they just become the one and you just know it from the jump because their hair, the halo comes over top their head and all these wonderful things happen. Reality is, honey, the reality is halftime, you don't know like that. You just don't. But when you know, and this sounds like a real generic answer, but when you know, like the young people say, it hits different. So when you know, I mean, there's no real, when you don't have to make rationalizations for the person, when you don't have to excuse certain things because you're trying to make them seem to be something that they're not, when you don't have to make excuses for him with your family or her with your family members, like, oh, she not really ratchet, she just didn't have a father growing up or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or he ain't he's not really abusive, he loves hard. So when you're not in a position of having to find ways to hide the red flags, when you're not trying to find ways to hide them and tuck them away and do different things to act like they're not there anymore, when you at a place where you don't have to do all of that, when the red flags ain't even there, they ain't even there. That's when that's another great indicator that, hey, I might got something we're holding on to. This might be something good. But when we feel like we have to just do so much, you know what I'm saying? I have this saying, I'm like, if it's good, then it's going to look good. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to try to make it look good. You ain't got to try to clean it up and add stuff to it and put a bow on it and shine up. If it's good, it's just going to it's just going to be good. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to add so much to it. When you see people start adding a whole lot to stuff and putting a whole bunch of icing on top of stuff and doing a whole bunch, then it's a hot mess. It's about to crumble and fall. Okay. Like the walls of Jericho. Yeah. Jericho wall. It's going to crumble and fall. But when people just moving in silence and just low key and just chilling and riding it out, just real cool and swaggerlicious, then those things be real solid. But when you got to do something, and when there's so much resistance, people always want to look at resistance as, oh, just the devil. He just so busy. He don't want to see me happy. No, honey. Sometimes that's the Lord trying to tell you to run as fast as you can. Gingerbread man. Sometimes people, we just want to always act like everybody haters. Everybody ain't haters. We don't really care. Honestly, we don't care. He's sitting up here doing all this stuff and you crying, or she's sitting up here being ratchet and you upset and you trying to talk to your homies about it. And you think everybody haters, always us, never them, and all that kind of extra ride it down. Honey, this ain't Bonnie and Clyde. We ain't got to live that hard. We don't. We ain't got to live that hard. We ain't got to live that rough. This is not the Bride of Frankenstein. No, that's the wrong one. Chucky, the Bride of Chucky. We ain't got to live that hard. No, we just gonna love each other. We gonna respect each other. We gonna value each other, and we good. So when you got to add a whole bunch of finesse to stuff, chances are that's a red flag. Just start waving it. It's a red flag. But when they're the one, you just know it. It just hits you. You feel it. And it's not just about love. Don't let people tell you that being with a person because you love them is enough. Again, bull crap. Love is not enough to do anything. If love ain't enough to heal you, then it ain't enough to keep you. It's not enough. Okay. You know somebody love somebody, except with the Lord. Now he loved us enough to bring us back to life. Other people, flatline, love does not make the lines jump again. It just don't. Okay. You got to have respect. You got to have value. You got to have communication. My God, communication. And you got to have these components that allow love to do what love does. But if you don't have these other components in there doing their job, then love is just going to suffocate. She's going to be barely breathing. She's going to be on a ventilator and she's going to be struggling. So what I'm saying is make sure the other components are there. And if you don't see them there, if these puzzle pieces don't connect and you feel like you always constantly trying to put a square into a circle or a circle into a square, hey, run. Go ahead. Go that way, okay? Because I'm telling you, this ain't it. So yeah, when you feel it. It sounds generic, but it's legit. When you feel it, and it rests in you. I'm a person of faith, so prayer works. It does. It sounds generic. It does its thing, and it works. So when you know, sweetheart. When you know. Okay, I might have time for one more question. No. Let me see. While I'm waiting, I will tell you all, if you have any questions for Miss J, you can submit them to dearmissj@gmail.com, and she's available to answer your question. If you put a subject in a subject bar, I will call that subject out so you'll know that your question is being read that day. They come to my shush mail, so I do not see who the questions are from or who's writing it. You could be sitting right next to me. I won't know it's you, okay? Because I know we want to be confidential. Is this something? Question. Oh, Miss J, I feel a little nauseous. I work for a local health department, and dear Miss J, I work for a local health department, and without trying, I found out my uncle is not my cousin. Oh, I hope. Okay. Oh, sorry. I found out my uncle is not my cousin's biological father, although all these years everyone thought that he was. What would you do? Come on, look, y'all hitting Miss J with him. Y'all hitting me with him, okay? So you work in the health department. Number one is full, complete confidentiality. We all know that. Anytime you work in any public service, human service, anything of the sort, full, complete confidentiality. So that's number one. That's tough. You find out that your uncle's child, that would be your cousin, supposedly, is not his child. What would you do? Not a gosh darn thing. Man, look, that's called the equation that you do not want to be a part of. This is no Y equals Jeanette in here. No, I don't know that we can do that. So, yeah, that's tough. It's tough because, you're bound by your job to be, discreet and not, to share such things. It's, one thing I will say is this. Well, never mind. I can't say that either. I was about to say sometimes within people's heart of heart, they know when something's amiss, when something is just not what they've always thought it to be. You ever hear people say like, they find out later on in life they were adopted and they're always like, oh, I knew something was different. Everybody else had red hair. Mine was black. And you were looking like, you just thought about that now? Okay. So I guess what I would say to my reader is, honestly, you know what? I would pray. I would pray and ask the Lord to reveal this thing, because the reality is you don't want to be in the midst of someone else's heartbreak. And if they really feel like this is their father, yeah. Now you might want to go to your auntie and be like, hey, auntie, I work for the health department and we see DNA tests and things when they come in. So, hey, yeah. So, hey, how's Junior doing? Is he good? Yep. He's him and his father. They're good. He looks awful like, the one I saw in the pictures before. Auntie, yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay. So no, I'm teasing, but seriously, if you can, I'll say this. I will say this, and I'm going to be for real, and you all can talk about me, say what you want. If you have a way that's not going to be messy, but that will be helpful, especially as it pertains to health issues. People need kidneys, eyeballs, nostrils, earlobes. People need all kind of transplants. So if it comes into a space where something happens and you can find a way, ooh, I just got dizzy. If you can find a way to, nudge, I ain't say push, I just said nudge the situation, a safe way to nudge, then go ahead and nudge. However, given who we are, we could be real messy, okay? So I'm just going to say this right now. We could be real messy, and we get our mouth in things. We done told, somebody cousin this, and then they go back and tell Junior that, Ray said that, just don't even listen to the safe nudge. Just don't say nothing. Just be quiet and pray and tell the Lord, I must tell Jesus all of my struggles, that Uncle Junior is not the dad. I saw the test results and you were not the father or the son or the Holy Ghost. No, but yeah, just don't say nothing. Just be quiet and just go. When you see Junior next time, just walk up and hug him. Okay. And I'm so sorry. Just hug him. Be like this. I'm so sorry, Junior. I'm just sorry. And Junior's going to ask you what you're sorry for, because Junior don't let stuff go. But you're just going to say, I'm just so sorry. Just keep saying it, okay? And then Junior's going to look at you like you're crazy. But when the day comes that Junior finds out that Auntie was a thought, he's going to remember that you gave him that warm hug and you told him that you were so sorry. And then later on, when it all comes out at the family reunion or Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, you could be like, Junior's going to remember. And you're going to be able to tell him that's why. Now he's going to be like, oh, that's why. You be like, I was trying to look out for you, and we're going to do it like that. All right. That is it for another J Day. Dear Miss J, gmail.com. Holler at me with your questions and whatever you have, and I will see you next time.